Hi everyone, DJ Rachel here with IDJ Now, and today I'm going to be walking you through the Mister Kool II. Now, ADJ actually released the Mister Kool over 10 years ago, and it remains one of their best-selling products and is still the leading low-lying fog machine on the market to date. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Mister Kool is, essentially it's a fog machine that uses conventional ice direct from your refrigerator or dry ice, along with a formulated fog to give you that dramatic dry ice effect without the need for expensive fog chillers or bulky air conditioners. Now, I'm not going to take the time to bore you with the details that are listed on the side of the box. But as I said, this is the next generation of the Mister Kool, and there have been some pretty significant upgrades. And I wanted to take a minute to just point out what those were, so you could see the difference between the first generation and the Mister Kool II. Now, the first upgrade was with the heater. The previous version had a 400-watt heater. This has been upgraded to a 700-watt heater. So that means it's going to take about 3 minutes or less to get this warmed up and ready to disperse the low-lying fog. They have also upgraded the fluid reservoir, so now you don't have to fill it as frequently. It's also capable of 8 minutes of continuous use on 1 tank of fog. This also means that they've upgraded the amount of coverage that the fog can do on a dance floor or any space that you're looking to give that desired effect. The previous version was able to fill 2,500 cubic feet per minute. This has been upgraded to 3,000 cubic feet per minute. So as I said, this is a more powerful machine. They've done some really great upgrades to give you a better functioning unit. Okay, I'm going to head upstairs now to my foyer and get the ADJ Mister Kool II set up. Now, I'll walk you through some of the parts that it comes with and show you how easy it is to put together, and then I'm going to do a couple of test runs with ice from my refrigerator. Now, you will get better results if you use dry ice. However, since most of us have access to regular conventional ice, that's what I'm going to be using today to see how it compares to possibly using dry ice. So once we get this set up, I'll run it a couple times and we'll see just how this works. So stay tuned. I have everything removed out of the box. So as you can see, we have our Mister Kool II right here. We have our remote to control the unit. We do recommend using the ADJ Kool Fog. This is formulated for low-lying fog and is going to give you the best results possible. We also have our water drainage tube and capture pouch. This is all the pieces you need to get the Mister Kool II up and running in just a matter of minutes. I want to go over the parts, how to get this together. There's only a few things that you need to get set up. So right here is where we have our 12-foot remote, and one of the things I think is actually pretty cool about this is it has a magnet on the back of it. So you can actually stick this to the machine. You don't have to worry about losing it or it falling on the floor or anything. So this is our remote connector, and this is going to plug into the machine like so. And then we have to get our power cord plugged in, which it comes with. Our on-off switch is right here. The other thing we have to get connected is this water evaporation tube. Now, since we have ice in here, clearly the ice is going to melt and it needs some place to go. So they've come up with this water release valve. So all you have to do is attach the tube, put the tube in this water reservoir, and all the ice is going to drain into right here. So again, you're not going to have any mess or cleanup with this. The Kool Fog is going to go in this chamber right here. It actually holds a pretty decent amount of fluid, but it also doesn't hold so much that it makes this unbearable to move around. It's still a very reasonable weight and moves around really easy, so you can get this placed wherever you need it to. Now this right here is the ice chamber, and it holds 4 pounds of conventional ice or dry ice. Now, one of the great features about this is the fact that it has a high quality rubber gasket around the lid to ensure that the temperature is going to be kept cold on the inside to make sure that the ice isn't melting prematurely, and it's also going to prevent any of the fog from leaking out of the machine. The Mister Kool II comes with its own fully functioning remote. It has a 12-foot cable and a 5-pin proprietary connection, which means you must use the remote provided with the unit. Now you have complete control over the interval and duration of the fog. Starting at the bottom, we have our yellow on-off switch. As soon as this has been pressed, the machine will start to heat up and the fog will be ready to go in about 2 to 3 minutes. On the right-hand side, you'll see a manual button in green. As long as this button is pressed, fog will continue to come out of the machine. This is going to give you the greatest amount of control. The continuous button in red in the center is used in conjunction with the dials at the top. We have our interval dial, which alters the amount of time in between the blasts of fog, and the duration dial will alter how long of a blast the fog is. If we move these all the way to the right, you're going to maximize the value, and if we move them all the way to the left, you're going to minimize the value, so the choice is yours. I'm pretty much ready to go. My last couple steps are to get the ice in the machine and get the machine turned on and heated up. So I just took my ice bucket from my home refrigerator. I'm going to pour this into the ice chamber. So now that I have this filled up with ice, I now have to close the lid and lock this down and make sure that that seal is making nice contact with the rest of the machine so that it's going to keep everything nice and cold and the fog on the inside of the machine. So now that I have this nice and locked down, I'm simply going to get this machine to turn on and we're going to start our 3-minute warm up, and in just a few minutes this will be ready to go. So I've been playing around with the Mister Kool for about an hour now, and I wanted to check out what my ice level would be. Now when I first started, I did have the ice topped off to the top of this metal plate, and I have lost some volume of ice, but I still have a ton left. So if I were doing an event that were a couple hours long, I wouldn't be worried about having to refill this constantly. The insulation has done a really good job at keeping everything nice and cold in here, and also when the machine was being used, it kept all of the fog on the inside. So this keeps everything really insulated, and the ice has lasted quite some time. So I wanted to give you a quick look at the water collection bag. It actually works really well. I've had this machine running for about an hour now, and obviously we have some of the ice melting, and it's keeping it all in this receptacle. It's not spilling over the floor, and then as soon as this gets filled up, we obviously can empty it out, but the system is actually working pretty well. Thank you so much for checking out my Mister Kool II walkthrough. I hope this video showed you how easy this is to set up and clean up, and how great of a low-lying fog effect you can get from this unit. So if you're interested in picking up a Mister Kool II yourself, be sure to reach out to the friendly folks at idjnow. Again, my name is DJ Rachel. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.